Okay, good morning children. Today we are going to learn a lesson in your English textbook that is written by Khushwant Singh, and the name of the lesson is The Portrait of a Lady. Okay, The Portrait of a Lady is our lesson and it is written by Khushwant Singh. So first, before learning the lesson, let us understand something about our author, Khushwant Singh. So I will share the page for you on the screen. See children, this is Khushwant Singh, okay. Our author, Khushwant Singh, he died in the year 2014. He was awarded with Padma Bhushan as well as Padma Vibhushan. He was a great journalist. Even he was a politician. He was a novelist as well as poet. So next page. Yes. So here we have something about Khushwant Singh. Yes, I will read it out for you. Khushwant Singh is an Indian writer. Okay. So Khushwant Singh is an Indian writer in English. He was born on 2nd February 1914. See, he took birth before independence period. In the before independence period, this Khushwant Singh got birth. He is a prominent Indian novelist and journalist, sings weekly column with malas towards one and all. So here children, malas means what? Ill will, a desire to harm everyone. So that is malas. So his weekly column with malas towards one and all, carried by several Indian newspapers, is among the most widely read columns in the country. Then, Singh is best known for his penchant for secularism, his humor, and an abiding love for poetry. So, this Khushwant Singh is known for his penchant. Penchant means what? His preference, his likings. Okay. So, he liked what children? His articles were mainly relating to secularism. Secularism, you know, no? The state which treats all the religions equal. That is called, that policy is called secularism. The state will not have one single religion as the religion of the state. That state is called a secular state. So he liked this concept very much, secularism. Then his humor means a sense of humor. So making jokes and all. So that is, for that also he is popular. And an abiding love for poetry. Abiding means what? Lots of love, deep love for poetry. For all these things he is well known. Then he is the recipient of Padma Bhushan in the year 1974. So during Indira Gandhi's government, this person got Padma Bhushan prize. Okay. So Padma Bhushan in the year 1974 and Padma Vibhushan in 2007. He was one of the editors of the famed Illustrated Weekly of India. Then, next children, his important works are History of the Sikhs, Train to Pakistan, Delhi. So, stop sharing this with me. Yes. So now his important works are, one is Train to Pakistan and another one is History of Sikhs and third one is Delhi. So here I would like to tell about this Train to Pakistan novel. Okay. So it is the novel which was written in the year 1947. At that time this novel was written 1947 and 1948. You all know that 1947. Why is 1947? Very important year in the Indian history. Medini, can you tell me?
Yeah, independence.
Yes, we got independence in that year. No, in the year 1947, we got independence. Again, this year is important in the Indian history for another reason. Who will tell me? So it is not a good sign. So for another reason, 1947 is very important in the history of India. Who will tell me the answer for this? We got independence in that year. That is right answer. But why else 1947 is remembered in Indian history? Yes, I have. Yeah, Vaishnavi Agade.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you tell me, Marie, why else it is important?
Partition, Mataji.
Exactly. Partition took place, no, in the year 1947. India was divided into India and Pakistan. Very painful event in the history of India, right? We never wanted to divide integrated India into two parts. We wanted one single integrated India, but we couldn't get success in that. So this train to Pakistan, it was written by Kushwant Singh about the things that took place in that period. Okay, so what happened when India was divided into two parts? Know what happened? So about that, this story is. It is a famous novel, and it was made a film in the year 1998. Recently, means some 20 years ago. This was made into a feature film, A Train to Pakistan. You can watch this if it is available on YouTube. Okay, I have not watched it yet, but if time permits, I will watch. Then, if it is very nice one, I will suggest you to watch it. First, let me watch that movie. Okay, Train to Pakistan. Now, coming to the lesson. What is the name of our lesson, children? It is the portrait of a lady. Okay. What is the meaning of this term? The portrait. Who will tell me the meaning of portrait? Medini, do you know? Yes. Who knows the meaning of the portrait? Can anybody tell me? The portrait. Aryan? Yes, Abhiram. Abhiram. What is a portrait? Abhiram? If you cannot speak Abhiram, you can even message. What is that? Did he message anything, Medini? Yes, who else is ready except Abhiram?
Vaishnavi.
Yes, Vaishnavi. You only tell me the answer. What is a portrait?
Picture of a person.
Exactly. It is a picture, it is a photo, or it is a photo frame of a person which exhibits, which tries to exhibit or express the personality of that person. Here, personality, it means what? It is not the physique, okay? The kind, the attitude, behavior. So the personality here means what? What type of person he was or she was. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಇಫ್ ಹಿ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, if we look at the picture of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, what do we feel? We feel that he was a very strong person, right? So when we see the photograph of a person or a lady, we will find some characteristics, we will find some qualities of that person in that photograph. No, so it is called a portrait. It may be a photo. So a photo, what it is framed in a frame. It is called what, children? A portrait. Here, the portrait of a lady. Kushwant Singh is telling about his grandmother here. It is a part of his autobiography. You know the meaning of autobiography, Nidini? What is an autobiography? Who will tell me the meaning of autobiography? Dhanya? What is an autobiography?
Writing about us.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. So, if we are writing about ourselves, it becomes autobiography. If someone else writes about us, it becomes biography. What the difference? Biography means if anybody writes about us, it becomes biography. Autobiography means if we write about ourselves, it becomes autobiography. Now, this lesson is an extract from Kushwant Singh's autobiography. Here he is speaking about his grandmother. So here, through this article or through this lesson, Kushwant Singh is giving a clear picture about the qualities, characteristics of his grandmother. What what type of bonded relationship he had with his grandmother, that is clearly explained in this lesson. Okay. So, and also he has explained about what children, how did his grandmother spend her old age. So, these old people, they will have their experience in the life. They will become so strong that they become able to face any problem in their life. So, how calm she was, how peaceful she was, how did she deal with her loneliness. So, when we are young, we can travel anywhere. So, we will be able to do any kind of work and we will be helpful to many people, right? ಈಗ ನಾವು ಯಂಗ್ ಏಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಐ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್, ನನಗೆ ನಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಸ್ವಂತವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂತ ತಾಕತ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಮತ್ತೇನ್ ತಾಕತ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೋಸ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಸಮ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಐ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್, I'll be happy. ಹೌದಾ? I'm very useful to others ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So we will be happy in our young age. But what happens when a person reaches old age? He'll become physically as well as mentally weak. ಹೌದಾ? ವೀಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನೇ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ವೀಕ್. ಹೌದಾ? At that time they will be lonely because nobody will be dependent upon them. ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡು, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡು, ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಾ, ನನ್ನನ್ನ ನೀನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀಯಾ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಯಾವ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಲೂಸ್ ದೇಯರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೋನ್ಲಿ, they will be of no use to others and others will neglect them. ಹೌದಾ? ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಿಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆ ಏಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಳೆಯೋದೇನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಫೀಲ್ ಅಲೋನ್, ಲೋನ್ಲಿನೆಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಹಿಸ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಏಜ್, how means he pays very much respect to his grandmother because she was a lady of that kind. She was not at all what burden for others. That we will study how, what type of bonding this Kushwant Singh he had with his grandmother. That is portrayed, that is clearly explained in this lesson. Very beautiful one. I hope you all will enjoy this lesson with me. So now let me read out the first stanza, first paragraph of the lesson for you. Then I'll go for line by line explanation. Okay. Now, screen share maybe. Next. Yes, see here children, the portrait of a lady. In this page you can find the picture of a man, so an old man. He is the grandfather of our author Kushwant Singh. It is an autobiography, it is an extract from the autobiography. Now let me read the first paragraph for you children. Yes, my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. People said she had once been young and pretty and even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban, loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look like the sort of person who would have a wife or children. Now, he has started his explanation with his grandmother. So he is saying that his grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, is also a old woman, and since 20 years she has been, means she looked the same. So he is saying like that she had been old and wrinkled. Wrinkled means what, children? ಈಗ ಏಜ್ ಆದವರ ಮೈ ಮೇಲೆ, ಚರ್ಮದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ನೆರಿಗೆ ತರದ್ದು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಂಕಲ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ನೋ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಂಕಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ she had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. Okay, ಅವರು 20 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಅವರ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. She had remained the same. Then people said that she had once been young and pretty and even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. Means, since this Kushwant Singh, he doesn't remember his grandfather at all. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಹುಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆನೆಯ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಟು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ದಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಟಿ. ಚಂದನೂ ಇದ್ದವರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರ ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದ ಮನೆಯವರು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅವನ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯುವರ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರಿಟಿ ವಿಮೆನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ he is unable to believe that, because he is seeing his grandmother for how many years? More than 20 years. For all these years she has remained old and wrinkled. That's why he has not seen her in her young age. No, so he has seen her after she has become old. That's why it is becoming very difficult for him to believe that. And also, as he has not seen his grandfather, okay, it is not it is unbelievable for him to believe that it was his, means that the photo which is there above the mantelpiece, no, that person once he was the husband of his grandmother. That also he cannot, what? He cannot agree. Now, my grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban. Turban means what, children? So this is the picture of his grandmother. Sorry. So I will show you the picture of mantelpiece now. Mantel, share photo. Next. Wait a minute. Next. Liquid. Wait a minute, children. Let us see the picture of mantelpiece. Yes. So what is mantelpiece? Yes. So you can see the mantelpiece there. The table-like thing where the clock is kept. That is mantelpiece. Another picture I will show you. So it is a place where you will, yes, see this mantelpiece. On the mantelpiece you have kept many things. No, you have kept many photo frames there. You have kept what else? A picture is there, and also a trophy is there on the mantelpiece. No, so this is mantelpiece. So above this mantelpiece, a portrait of his grandfather was hung, and in this picture they saw that his grandfather was a very old person, and he wore what type of clothing? He wore loose fitting clothing, and he also wore a turban. ತಲೆಗೆ ಏನು ಸುತ್ತಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಟರ್ಬನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರುಮಾಲು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. What is the meaning of turban? Rumalu. And loose fitting clothing he had wore there. And also his beard, no, he had a long beard, and that white beard had covered half of his chest part. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಎದೆಯನ್ನ ಮುಚ್ಚುವಷ್ಟು ಉದ್ದದ ಗಡ್ಡ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇದ್ದಿತ್ತು ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಫಾದರಿಗೆ. Stop sharing. Okay, so that type of person his grandfather was. That's why he looked like as if he is 100 years old, and he looked like as if he had got hundreds and hundreds of grandchildren. So it was unbelievable for whom our Kushwant Singh that he had a grandfather and his grandmother had a husband. That was unbelievable for our author Kushwant Singh. Okay. Now, next let us understand. So far what we have understood? We have understood about the grandmother of Kushwant Singh. She was an old lady and she remained old and wrinkled for 20 years. So even though everybody told him that she was young and pretty once, it was unbelievable for him. And also he could not believe that he had a grandfather and that person looked like 100 years old, whose picture was, whose photo was hung above the mantelpiece there, and he could have only grandchildren. That type of person means that his grandfather in the picture, he was wearing what children? A turban, loose fitting clothing, and he had a long white beard which covered half of his chest. So this much is explained in this page. Now let us go for the next page. He looked as if, share. Next page. Yes, see here. He looked as if he could only have. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As far as my grandmother, being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. Means he could not believe it. Then she often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Okay, so his grandmother used to tell him and other children that once she was young and also once she used to play the games, but it was unbelievable for him. He says that it was absurd. It was illogical. I have written the meaning of absurd there. Absurd means illogical or inappropriate. ಅವನು ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಸಣ್ಣಿರುವಂತಹ ಏಜ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೆನಪು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವಳು ಆಟ ಆಡಿರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ he is unable to believe that. Okay, then he also adds that means when she told all those things ಅವರಿಗೆ ಏನೋ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ರೀತಿ ಅನಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು. Okay, that is explained in this stanza. Now let us go for the next stanza, next paragraph. Yes, see here children, just I read out. In this paragraph he is explaining the character, means physique of his grandmother. ದೈಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ಇದ್ರು, physique. He is explaining the physique of the grandmother here. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She could never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale puckered face and her lips constantly moved inaudible prayer. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Okay. So, yes, stop sharing this. Yes, now in this paragraph, what is the author telling? He is explaining the characteristic or physique of his grandmother. So he says that she was short and she was bent, and she was little fat. ಒಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಪ್ಪ ದಪ್ಪಗಿದ್ರು ಅಜ್ಜಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಕುಳ್ಳಿಗಿದ್ರು, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಶಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೂಪ್. ಸ್ಟೂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೂನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದಲ್ವಾ ಬೆನ್ನು, ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಒಂದ್ ರೀತಿ ಗೂನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಹರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆನ್ ಹರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್, so that she could balance her body. ಅವರ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ always she used to keep her hand like this on her waist. In one hand she used to keep on her waist. In another hand always she had a rosary. Rosary here means what, children? Your japad sara. Okay, what is rosary? Japad sara. Always she used to count it, means always she used to say japa. That type of lady she was. He could see her lips moving always, but inaudible. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಳು ಇಡೀ ದಿನ ಮಂತ್ರವನ್ನ ಚಾಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಲಿಪ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವ್ರು ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಹರ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ಆಡಿಬಲ್, ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕೌಂಟ್ ದ ಬೀಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೋಸರಿ. ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಜಪದ ಸರದ ಆ ಜಪದ ಮಣಿಗಳನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. That type of lady she was. He is saying that she was not at all, he cannot imagine she as a pretty woman. So he says that she may not be pretty, but she was very beautiful lady. Here you have to understand the difference between pretty and beautiful. Pretty means physical beauty. Okay, ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಂದ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು pretty, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಚಂದ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? Beautiful. So he is saying that his grandmother was what? Beautiful. She may not be pretty, but she was beautiful always. That he is adding. Now, children, the meeting is going to end within 5 minutes. Let us do one thing. Let us end the meeting here and let us rejoin fast with the same link. End fast. Rejoin fast.